Have you ever tried to declutter a room in your house only to end up surrounded by piles of stuff you've taken out of cabinets and drawers and wondering how you got yourself into this mess? You're not alone. Most people don't realize that the reason they get stuck isn't just about having too much clutter, it's about how they're approaching the process. I've seen this over and over again with my clients. They start strong, motivated to finally create a calm, organized home, and then they hit a wall. That wall is usually the result of a few common decluttering mistakes, ones that make the whole process harder than it needs to be. In case you're new here, I'm Dr. Kelly Cosgrove, and I help overwhelmed people build consistent, healthy routines by combining science-backed strategies with home organization. Let's get into it. In this video, we're going to go through the biggest decluttering mistakes that might be keeping you stuck, and I'll talk about what to do instead, so you can make real progress and finally feel good in your space again. The first mistake I see people making is starting with sentimental items. Things like keepsakes, photos, or meaningful gifts. It's totally understandable. Those are often the things we want to get under control the most. But here's the problem. Starting with the hardest stuff first drains your emotional energy before you've built any momentum. Decluttering requires practice. You have to strengthen your decision-making skills and your tolerance for letting go. And dealing with sentimental items first is like trying to lift a heavy weight before you've warmed up. Instead, start with low-stakes areas, expired food in your pantry, old towels, duplicates in your kitchen, or clothes you know you won't wear. These quick wins give you that hit of progress that motivates you to keep going. Once your decluttering muscle is stronger, you'll be ready to tackle the emotional stuff with more clarity and confidence. The second mistake that causes people to stall is trying to declutter everything in one go. You've probably seen those dramatic before and after videos where someone dumps their entire closet onto the bed and says, "I'm not stopping until it's all done." But what you don't see is the overwhelm that often follows. That giant pile becomes a mountain, and it's easy to lose steam or start making rushed decisions just to be finished. Or to end up surrounded by chaos for days or weeks because you couldn't find the motivation to put everything away that you took out. If you've ever ended a decluttering day with more chaos than when you started, this is probably why. Instead, think small and specific. Declutter one drawer, one shelf, one small category. It's far more effective to have 10 small wins than one burnout session that leaves you exhausted. Progress compounds, and you'll actually make more lasting change by keeping it sustainable. Once you have a couple of these small decluttering sessions under your belt, you'll start to get an idea of how long you can expect decluttering projects to take, and you can take on bigger areas knowing that you'll be able to finish decluttering and putting everything away in the time that you have available. This is one of the most important skills I use when I organize clients' homes. It's really important for me to have my client's home looking tidy when I leave at the end of each session, so I need to make sure that we can reach a good stopping point before our scheduled time is up. Over the years, I've developed the ability to know how much I can take on and expect to finish in a certain amount of time. But if you're just starting out on your decluttering journey, I urge you to start smaller than you think you should to make sure you have the time and energy to get everything sorted and put away before wrapping up for the day. The third decluttering mistake is buying organizing products too early. I get it. Bins, baskets, and drawer dividers are fun. They make you feel like you're already fixing the problem. But one of the most common traps is buying organizing tools before you've actually decluttered. Here's the truth. You can't organize clutter. No container can solve the problem of having too much stuff. Plus, you won't know how much stuff your new bins and containers will need to accommodate until you've gotten rid of the things you no longer need. Once you've decluttered, you can find bins and containers that are the perfect fit for the items you've decided to keep. But before you hit add to cart, I recommend that you shop your home first. Use things you already have, like shoe boxes, baskets, small trays, and live with that setup for a while. After a few weeks, you'll know what's working and what's not, and then you can invest in bins and containers intentionally instead of impulsively. The fourth mistake is another big one: not having a plan for what happens after you declutter. I can't tell you how many times someone has shown me their donation pile that's been sitting by the front door for 3 weeks or in the garage for months. And I get it. It's easy to run out of energy at the end of a decluttering session. But when those bags linger, it creates visual clutter guilt, a constant reminder of unfinished work. Or if you end up moving your donation bags out of sight, like to a corner in the garage, it just becomes clutter that you've moved from one area of your house to another. And while it probably feels better to have that stuff out of your actual living space, it's really great to get in the habit of dealing with your decluttered items right away. Otherwise, they will pile up and become a new source of stress that you'll need to work up the motivation to deal with down the line. So before you start decluttering, plan how and when the items will leave your home. Set a specific donation drop-off date. Schedule a pickup if you're dealing with large items, or if it's something that can't be reused, look up your local recycling or waste disposal options. Having a plan in place keeps your momentum going and helps you actually complete the cycle, not just start it. The fifth mistake is decluttering just to make room for more stuff. This one might sting a little, but sometimes we declutter with the wrong motivation. If you're getting rid of things just so you can buy new stuff, you're not really simplifying, you're just rotating your clutter. Decluttering is a powerful opportunity to reflect on what actually adds value to your life. When you remove the excess, you make space, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Filling that space again too quickly takes away the peace you worked so hard for. So before you bring anything new into your home, pause and ask, what role will this item play in my daily life? And where will I put it? If you can't answer these questions clearly, it's probably not worth the space or the mental load. The sixth mistake is letting guilt make the decisions. Guilt is one of the sneakiest forces that keeps clutter around. We feel guilty about money spent, gifts received, things passed down to us by loved ones who passed away, or items that should be used, so they stay, taking up space and energy. But here's the truth. Guilt is not a good reason to keep something. Every item in your home takes up space and attention. It's something you have to clean around, store, or manage. And if you're keeping it purely because you feel bad letting it go, it's costing you more than you realize. When it comes to gifts, remember, the purpose of a gift is to express care, not to create lifelong obligation. The moment you received it, the gift fulfilled its purpose. Letting it go doesn't dishonor the person who gave it, it simply honors your current needs and space. And if you're keeping something because you spent money on it and haven't used it and feel bad letting it go, give yourself some grace and realize that holding onto the item that you know you will never use won't make it a better use of money. It's better to donate it to let someone else enjoy it and consider it to be a lesson to think twice before buying something similar in the future. Finally, one of the most difficult categories of items I deal with when helping my clients declutter is things that were left behind by loved ones who passed away. It's totally normal to tie our emotions to physical objects, especially when they belonged to people we love who are no longer with us. But this can cause us to keep boxes and boxes of stuff that sit in our garage and never see the light of day, and that we're holding on to purely out of guilt. Of course, I'm not saying you should get rid of every sentimental item that has ever been passed down to you. I would just encourage you to be intentional about what you're keeping and why you're keeping it. If you notice yourself saying, I should keep this because it belonged to, or I feel bad letting this go, there's a good chance the main driver of keeping that particular item is guilt. I recommend going through items like this and deciding what you really feel a connection to, and letting the rest go with a clear conscience. This way, you can keep a reasonable amount of stuff that you can actually display somewhere in your home or keep easily accessible for when you're feeling nostalgic and want to flip through a photo album or look through a memento box, rather than holding onto boxes and boxes of stuff that will never even get opened. The seventh decluttering mistake is expecting perfection. A lot of people stay stuck because they want to do it right. They're afraid to start until they have the perfect system, the perfect plan, or the perfect motivation. But decluttering isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about making your home better today than it was yesterday, even if it's not perfect yet. The truth is, your systems will evolve as your life changes. You'll tweak things, rearrange things, and that's completely normal. So let go of the idea that it has to look Pinterest perfect. What matters most is that it feels easier to live in your space. Even if you just get rid of a few things from your closet, a couple things out of the junk drawer in your kitchen, or a few expired items from your pantry, that's progress. And that progress can build over time if you continue to take small steps each day. Before you know it, you'll have made real visible progress, and your home will start to feel lighter and more peaceful. So let's recap. Here are the takeaways I hope you'll keep in mind as you start to declutter your house. Start with easy decluttering before tackling sentimental items. Keep your decluttering projects small and manageable. Don't buy organizing products before you declutter. Have a clear clutter removal plan. Avoid decluttering just to shop again. Let go of guilt. And aim for progress, not perfection. Decluttering isn't just about a cleaner home. It's about creating space for who you're becoming. The spaces you spend time in have a dramatic impact on your habits and your routines, so decluttering and being intentional about your home can have really positive ripple effects in other areas of your life. And if you'd like a little extra help creating a home that supports your routines, don't forget to grab my free habit-boosting home checklist. The link is in the description below. It's full of quick, science-backed tweaks you can make to declutter and organize your home with healthy habits in mind. And if you found this video helpful, you might also like my video called How to Declutter Your Home Even When You Feel Overwhelmed. It's a perfect follow-up that goes over exactly how to declutter your home. I'll link it here on the screen and in the description below.